Hey everybody, Lance back. One of the things that I love to do is show people how some of the things that Melissa's been talking about could come to fruition inside your institution. And let me say right up front, just because we do it a certain way here doesn't necessarily make it right for everyone. I got that. But what we wanted to do was make sure that if a situation were to unfold, that we could have as frictionless a communication plan in place as possible, and that we could get folks to where they needed to be. They could monitor things that were going on, and we could let others know in the appropriate locations without putting everyone into a panic about that particular situation. So that's what we're going to unfold today. I'm going to set the stage just a little bit by first and foremost pointing out the things that's going on over my shoulders right now. These two screens are from Zoom. They're Zoom rooms. This one is by a company called Meet. This one is by a company called D10. This one is by a company called Poly. They are appliances that would go inside a classroom kind of situation so that teachers could do what I'm doing today. That's not only engage their local learners, but also their remote learners in real time. They could record content. Content could easily be accessible via the learning management system. That's a conversation for another day. But what I want to point out is that when they're not in use, they still serve a very important function. That is digital signage. Zoom rooms provide unlimited digital signage campus-wide if you invest in a single Zoom room. Now, right this second, you're seeing the weather. You may have seen the cafeteria menu pop up a few moments ago. Here's some video footage that is out for our students to be able to kind of just enjoy at the elementary level. You see that Kona Ice is going to be here later this week. So there's a whole lot of different information that we normally put on digital signs. The reason I'm pointing that out to you is because those may be not in use and in digital signage modes, or they could even be in a live class when an emergency situation takes place on campus. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate over to a document camera so you can actually see all of this in process. So I'm going to switch to my document camera. And as we do that, you're going to see a Zoom phone appliance position here from Poly. Now, like I said right up front, there are several manufacturers of Zoom phone, Zoom rooms, and that sort of thing. But here we are, taking a look at it. We see that we have a number. I'm going to replicate a 911 call by dialing 933. The reason I'm doing it this way is because I don't necessarily want everyone to go into a panic mode. Okay, so here we go. We're mashing that as if it were 911. The first thing you see happen is it's detected the address where I am.
Emergency call placed by Lance Ford from extension 201.
That audio confirmation that you just heard on the speaker was actually to my resource officer's phone. So, and he knows that I do this a lot, so he's not going to come running in here or anything. But superseding anything that he may be doing, that voice is going to grab him and say an emergency call was placed by Lance Ford at extension XYZ. Now, he has a map on campus. He has the ability then to listen in on his phone via his Zoom client as he begins to get up from behind his desk or wherever he's out on campus and make his way to that situation. Not only can he listen in, but he has an additional button called Barge. So that teacher is dealing with 911 services. If he gets in close proximity to that location, he wants the faculty member to know that he is coming in to the experience. He can hit the Barge button and say, I'm standing right outside the door right this second. I'm coming into the classroom. 911 hears all of that as they are dispatching the appropriate respondents needed to address the issue. Now, provided it's a situation that requires notifications either at a campus level, notifications at a building level, notifications at a floor level inside that building. That's how digital signage from Zoom begins to play in. So watch what has happened. I'll bring up my screen here. This is my Zoom client running on my phone. This would be an administrator who has the ability to leverage and write over the signage or those Zoom meetings that are going on in real time. They would click the chat. They would see a new chat notification. Scrolling down here under chats, they see the emergency bot notification has just sent out from caller Lance Ford at this caller ID at this time on this particular location. And this particular IP, very important information here because we now know what area of the network this is coming from. Would you like to send an alert? Yes. I'm going to put lockdown environment. And we'll make sure that everyone knows this is just a test. Okay. I'll hit save. So now I've typed in the message that I want. Where do I want that message to go? Well, maybe I want it to go to this particular campus or all the campuses that I deal with. Maybe I have a specific building on that campus, again, or all the buildings. And maybe I have a specific floor. We're just going to leave that as, all for now. And I'm going to hit send. And when I hit send, again, come over here with me. All that digital signage, all those experiences, even if they're live in meeting, they're all now locked. As a faculty member, when you see specific verbiage pop up on that screen, even if you're in the middle of class, that you need to respond and what to do in a lockdown environment. So we're providing that just-in-time engagement from the resource officer, from school leadership, building personnel could all be listeners and or bargers into that call as they respond locally. We're providing that to outbound folks, regional 911, thus our sheriff, our community, maybe highway patrol if necessary, all responding to that. And then we're letting the rest of the campus know that this is the situation and you need to take the appropriate measures. You saw me do all that in under about 90 seconds while describing it to you. You could imagine how much more quickly that could actually happen if I hadn't had to tell you what was going on as it unfolded. This is part of the benefit that LDA can provide for you as you really explore this particular grant funding opportunity. Partnering with Zoom and partnering with LDA is huge. Now, in our next video, we'll look at how that could be actually expanded to responding as well. Provided Melissa has time to play that video, you guys can see that too. Thank you for your time. I hope this has been helpful, Melissa, and we'll probably see you again here in just a few minutes.